Hello and welcome to the semifinals round of the Hyperion Invitational Cup. I am your caster Lemon Pepper. I'm joined here in the booth by Lord Thethan. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well, Lemon Pepper, and I'm so glad you actually got my name right. A lot of people think it's Lord the Than, like the English articles, but no, it's
Right.
just Lord Thethan.
I heard it
I'm
one
really
time and I nailed it. I'm
yeah,
happy. I'm
yeah.
stoked.
That's so good. I'm really excited for the series tonight. This is the semifinals. We got two matches of semifinals tonight. We are going to be casting the Kaiju Core Clover versus Frost Nova matchup, where our other one is Paradise Aegis versus Danger Close, and that should be a very exciting one. That's actually going on right now, and so by the end of the night, we'll have both of our finalists here for the grand finals. I'm very excited to see which of these two teams in particular that I'll be watching tonight end up emerging on top. Kaiju Core Clover, undefeated so far in the regular season, and definitely more than a match for Frost Nova, who really have gotten a serious game together as the season progressed and heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Frost Nova, they've been doing a great job. They made a great run of it. I have to give credit where credit's due. You know, my team Tempest going down to them 3-2, very close round. A lot of big plays coming out from the likes of Ricey throughout the course of that. The DPS line in general, Scaro, Ricey, Azino, these are all players that you're going to be having to watch out for throughout the course of the evening. And even if the theories are true and Kaiju Core Clover are as unbeatable as they have, shown throughout the regular season, I think it will be the damage line getting it done here that possibly maybe shakes that narrative just a little bit.
Oh yeah, because you've got I think you mentioned Ricey, and you've got Scaro
Yes.
and Azino as well. We look at Ricey for some of these clutch picks, like hero swaps, and as well as Zeno's consistency on some of those projectile DPS heroes. Scaro, when I think about someone who's just incredibly consistent, I do think about Scaro. Um, can we talk about Capidozer for a little bit here? Lemon,
Yes.
just absolutely insane support player. And with the support that Blazing Angel also represents, I think that Frost Nova should be a pretty indisputably defendable team. I think that they're going to be able to maintain aggressive positions off the initiative that we'll see from Browns Fan Jr. and Florida both, that they'll be able to secure the picks with this damage lineup, and as well that they'll be able to stay in those powerful positions and really make things happen on the support line. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a DPS Zen, DPS Ana. Hopefully they have the time for that. But But they're, like I said, they're playing against some tough opponents. If we can actually go back and take a look at kaiju core clover's matchup or lineup rather, Felix and Glitch. You were talking to me a little bit about this, Lemon. They're actually both Hyperion legends, right?
Absolutely. Yes, they are both the legends, your role stars, your all stars, whatever you want to call it. But they, were set apart, noticed for their incredible performance throughout the course of the season. As you can notice, these are the only two tanks on the roster. They don't really change it up much in that regard, and they don't have to. I mean, both of them just they play in such sync and such unison. You think when Glitch is on the ball, you think you can focus him and shut him down and take him out of the fight early, and it's just very hard to do. You've got such great diva play coming out with that from Felix Felicis on there. I mean, it's just they're tough. And then you go, and then you go over to the DPS line of Greg and Cannon. We haven't seen as much of Radiant Light. It's been a big dose of Greg and Cannon throughout the series. Cannon, of course, doing some dominating projectile formats, but Greg, whether it's the Tracer, whether it's the making great value on the Soldier. Which is something that very few teams I think have been doing this tournament.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to see the Soldier being played at such a high level, and then he goes over to the Kree, your more traditional meta picks, the Ash, stuff like that, and again shows just a high level of dominance. And so yeah, that's gonna be what Frost Nova is kind of up against tonight. Is can you deal with that two-pronged attack, and then amongst all that, you've got a solid support line in J-Brox Forever and Copel that, literally you've got to get to them as well while getting through all that if you're going to get any sort of value taking down this Clover team.
I concur with you entirely. And if we take a look at our maps as well, we'll be heading into first Nepal, and a couple of different styles that you can see emerge on this control point map. Control point tends to be a little bit more deathmatchy in style, so we'll see which team is really capitalizing on those opportunities as we head into map one. Lemon, what are some of the different colors that you think we're going to see from these teams?
Well, honestly, throughout the course of the season, I think Clover has looked probably at their best. Some of their most concise performances have been them playing that Wrecking Ball comp with Glitch on the Wrecking Ball. Of course, they've looked very dominant on that. Meanwhile, Frost Nova, they've looked very strong at times on Brawl. They love running the six-man comp, sometimes to a fault, as we've seen at times, but they do get value out of it, so that will be very interesting to see. It does look like, at this moment, we do have a ringer playing on the side of Frost Nova. We've got Winter, a previously unknown commodity, coming out for Frost Nova. You've got Florida, traditionally on the off-tank role, but we have seen him in the past on the main tank role as well. He will be playing the Reinhardt, and this is a comp that we've seen before from Frost Nova. They know how to play this Brawl very well. It looks like we will be seeing the mirror on both sides, so it will just be a question of who's going to get the value in this mirror matchup.
Yeah, and it's not even just up to, who kind of gets onto the point, runs at each other, uses all their cooldowns first, and kind of gets the value there. Already staking their tent here just past the objective. Kaiju Core Clover setting up a pretty good defense. There's the wall going up from both sides. Turrets are already erected all of the objective, and the lamp has already gone out as well from Cabadozer on Frost Nova. Looks like first blood is spilled on the side of Frost Nova as well. Florida going down in the fight, and look at Felix, the aggression here, picking out the turrets as well as looking for these priority targets. It's actually going to be enough to ward Frost Nova away from the objective and give Kaiju Core Clover the first cap.
Yeah, and that was actually a very good disengage from Frost Nova. I mean, you lose Florida very early. There's nothing really, once it's done, there's nothing you can do about that. It was a really great wall coming out from Clover as well. But you quickly get out, and that allows you to recontest quickly here, and they're already getting back in and starting this fight, and they're getting control on the
Oh yeah, with the teleport and the Lucio, the speed boost, you're able to just run in and look. Frost Nova is actually taking control of this objective. They lose Florida in the process, though. So the point ends up swinging, but you're down your main tank, which is all your point presence. Here to compensate, Rising actually goes in for the Blizzard, and it looks like yeah, Glitch is actually going to end up being frozen, but not enough follow-up damage to really get them out of the fight. There's the wall and the window coming down. That sounds like a great song lyrics there, and Glitch uses that to go for the shatter and also find the pin out to Ricey. Greg with a handheld microwave here is going to help to find those additional picks, although the final blows will end up going to the main tank here for Kaiju Core Clover, and they'll swing the objective at the same percentage.
Yeah, and great lack of really concern there coming out from Clover. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they're not afraid to give up the progress there. They play smart with their game. Honestly, Florida had a great idea coming out there, playing aggressively. It allows them to take a point. He just bit off a little bit more. He could shoot straight a little bit too far from the line of sight of Cabadozer, and ultimately that leads to him going down. And that's all Clover really needs. They already start turning that fight around. And yes, they turn it, but that does give Frost Nova a little bit of progress to look at here. They do have this Earth Shatter coming online as a sound barrier, as well as the self-destruct coming out. These are all ults that you could possibly combine together. You could use bomb your sound barrier aggressively. I personally would maybe save it for the freeze if possible. That is something that Cannon's going to be looking to use this fight.
Oh, they're going to have to fight past the Shatter from Glitch. They're swinging the hammer down to the earth, and the Blizzard comes down at the same time as the Shatter from Florida as well. Bomb being deployed out as well from Winter, but oh, look at all these picks. It's all lining up blue, and the kill feed here representing Kaiju Core Clover coming out on top in this particular team fight. I mean, Lemon, look at how quickly that resolved for Clover, and also how many ults were expended from both sides.
Absolutely, and honestly for Frost, you when the fight's lost, you want to lose it quick. They do that well there. Great Reinhardt play from both Glitch and Florida. Both Shatters blocked very well. The difference was really just Cannon with that freeze coming out from the main. Now Ricey will have a chance to do that himself here, but that bomb from Felix could get some big value.
It's going to take out the lamp, and that's value enough here. Glitch helping to find the final blows there, using partially the amplification matrix and the comfort it provides, knowing that the healing, any healing double through it is actually doubled, until ultimately it's just Florida Winter remaining, but they're Demecta. See, I'm used to saying Florida because you're right. I'm used to seeing Florida on the off-tank, the Diva role, and I'm a little curious, Lemon, because especially since you have some experience playing against these teams, I'm a little curious if maybe that is part of the weakness in Frost Nova that's emerging here, is the fact that Florida's having to take up the hammer and shield as the main tank.
I mean, that would be one of my first kind of areas to look at, just because of the fact that, you know, as we noted in the pregame, Glitch and Felix just such an indomitable tank line on Clover. If you're not bringing your absolute A game as a tank line, you're just gonna have a lot of trouble. I mean, that's we didn't have our full tank roster with us when we played Clover in the regular season. We paid dearly for it. They really, if you do not have the synergy of being 100% together, they make you pay for it. You see Glitch, the reason he's getting some of these long charge kills that seem like they shouldn't be something you should be able to do in this level of organized play, it's because the coordination is there. He knows when he can take those risks to have those opportunities with Felix on the Diva. I mean, it's one of those things where if you can't have that, where you're Florida and Winter, without that level of synergy, you're going to have a hard time. It's going to be an uphill battle.
So you bring in Ricey, right, on the Sombra to help level out that hill that you have to pass a little bit, but that's not going to amount to really anything in this first team fight. Already breaking out on the objective, that's where Kaiju Core Clover wants to stage, and it's going to favor their composition that they're running. You've got such hefty amounts of damage coming out from Greg and Cannon, and they're going to use that to capture the first point.
Yeah, they do so pretty much uncontested as far as the point goes. Ricey on the Sombra looking to get value, tries to get that pick, doesn't quite get it off, and it's just good position from Clover. And that is shocking too, because that's been one of Ricey's strong suits throughout the course of this Sombra play. This season of Hyperion Cup has been, you know, getting these really high value hacks, getting great value from that, and Clover just doing a better job. And now you've got this window coming out from J-Brox. They're taking such aggressive positioning. They're pushing Frost Nova all around the map.
But Frost Nova, they're ready to disengage from that, and it's actually going to reward them a little bit of patience, some temperance in terms of their aggression. Is going to help them secure both of the tanks out here for Clover. Scarro ends up sacrificing their life to the tire, and Greg is critically low. They're going to end up collapsing off the objective. Glitch looking to reconnect before the point actually flips. They're going to throw a Fire Strike, and Winter actually is demect here, which and it's not going to prompt the bomb either. Ultimately, it's only Winter left on this point, though. Glitch just cleaned it up.
That's insane, actually.
What?
I mean, Frost Nova does not use any ults there. They've got 6 ults coming online there, but Clover's got 60% of the point already. I mean, they can afford to give this up here, possibly amass some more ults, and then come back and do the exact same thing with Frost Nova. But, you know, you do have Primal online. You have, you know, the big one I think here, though, is Coalescence. Though. EMP and Coalescence is going to give you the best value, and it looks like we'll see it right here. EMP gets 4, does not get the tank line, though.
Oh no, and Glitch ends up getting pinned as well. The high noon coming up from Greg, and the Blossom from Scarrow. Scarrow actually uses it to eliminate the Cowboy from the fight. J-Brox saying, you know what, let me take some matters into my own hands, find some picks. Felix capitalizing off the Shatter is able to find there's some significant damage onto Winter. And despite the boop elimination coming in here from Blazing Angel, still armed with the beat, has to drop it in order to sustain. You're looking at 98% in capturing, but they're not going to be able to stay on that point. It's going to be all Kaiju for clvr here, and a reconnection from Florida is going to be met with some hefty resistance. Lots of damage being pelted into that monkey, losing the armor HP before they even have the opportunity to touch. They're going to get eliminated. Copal, however, taken out of the fight by Skirl. Things look like they could be swingable here, especially as Ricey goes down, but trades for Cannon and Glitch both taken out of the fight to compensate the window. Coming out from JB as well to make sure that the remaining tank, that Felix is sustained on this objective, but they're in the middle of 4 squishies for Frost Nova. Blazing Angel ends up paying the price for the lack of damage mitigation that is represented here on the side of Frost Nova, and reconnecting is going to be Copal trying to see if they can get out a little bit more ultimates from Frost, but ultimately they'll yield it here. That was a really long fight.
That's not a fight that clvr loses, typically. I mean, that's been something that's been their trademark throughout the course of the season, is they win the overtime fights. When you think they're beaten, they come back in, they rally, and they turn it around. That's something they've done throughout this entire season, and that right there, that is a huge, even if you still drop this map, I think that has to be a huge sort of rallying cry for Frost Nova. And now, the EMP coming out again, getting 4 again, missing the DPS line this time.
Cannon's Tire only secures Winter out of the fight. Winter has already cast the bomb into the fray, and oh, I don't know that the Blossom was quite necessary. Kabadozer using that heal by Autocorp to make sure the team stays sustained. Scarrow secured 2 with that Death Blossom, and I guess Lemon, you've still got Florida with the Primal and Kabadozer with the Coalescence. Cannon is actually now on the Reaper too.
Yeah, it's very huge that Kabadozer farms back up that Coalescence again, because I do think that the Scarrow Death Blossom might have been a bit of an overcommittal. You can probably secure those picks, and that's huge, because now look, Kaiju Core with the ults coming in.
Look at how quickly they re-engage in this fight. Greg using the high noon to get Scarrow out of the fight. Kabadozer trying to compensate for the lack of DPS with a little bit of purple there from the Moira. But the point is being captured here by Kaiju Core clvr. They're actually going to capture it. 65% is not something for, that Frost Nova needed to yield. So you're going to have the teleporter from Ricey, the translocator actually, kind of connect there. But there's not going to be a touch here. No way, Lemon.
Nope, absolutely not. And that was just very expertly handled by clvr. That's a good 2-0 to start off the series. But I mean, if you're Frost Nova, like I said, no one's really been able to do that to clvr before, where you go in there and you win in that overtime scenario. That's always been clvr's bread and butter. You know, we saw that in probably their toughest matches against Danger Close, and we saw that happen time and time again, where Danger Close would have them on the ropes, being right there about to cap it, right there about to tie it up, and then clvr would just rally. And they'd get the picks they need, and they'd win the map, they'd draw the map, they'd do what they need to do. So that right there, if you're Frost Nova, you need to look at that, you need to say, what did we do well there? What did we do right? How do we continue that throughout the course of this series? Because if you can take that defeat there on map 1, and you can take that and you can get some possible positive value from it, then you get a chance to maybe take a map here and bring this back to tied up. But either way, I mean, a good start for Frost Nova, but you can't deny clvr just looking about standard for what we expect for them. Just a strong performance, looking good on the brawl. We didn't even see Glitch on the Wrecking Ball. I assume we will see that in the later maps, but at the same time, just a solid brawl performance, you got to say.
Brawl isn't really going to be the style that I think we'll be seeing on our next map either. And actually, let me pull that up so that I make sure I know what I'm talking about. We'll be going into Havana next, if I'm correct, and that's really, Brawl is kind of hard to run there, Lemon. At least if you play Reinhardt like I do, kind of trying to take it slow and steady, and see if you can take a little bit of space at a time. It's really going to favor that running dive disruption composition that I think Kaiju Core clvr has really demonstrated a proficiency on. Frost Nova, you're absolutely right. They looked really good on the brawl, but are they going to look good on the compositions that they have to run on Havana? That's kind of my question going into this.
That is going to be something that Frost Nova is going to have to address. Their 6-man, that is something I think you could possibly see value with right here. I will say, though, 2 teams have done full holds here on Havana. Two teams throughout the season have done, when I mean full holds, I mean like it doesn't even get out the door, really.
Really?
And that was Tempest Typhoon, who did it better, by the way. You can look at the VODs. Ours was better. Same week, too, because, map pools. Tempest Typhoon did a full hold, and that same week, so did Kaiju Clover. And they let the point get a little bit farther. I forget who they were playing that week. But again, full hold, excellent job. They did it on the Brawl, that typical Atlanta Reign style fashion where you just camp the spawn, you play aggressively. So we have seen that from Clover. I mean, that's the type of statement you expect a team like Clover to try and make here in semifinals, going into finals, looking at possibly obviously a rematch with either team, but Danger Close versus Clover was one of the best matches of the season, period. You got to think that Clover's looking at a rematch of that, and they're wanting to make a little bit of a statement walking in. This would be a great way to make that statement, do a second full hold on Havana like they did earlier in the season. That's something I think we could see. But if either team can push past this first point, this opens up a lot of other dive potential, opens up double shield potential. It really opens up the variations on this map. And that's where I think it'll either be, that'll be the winner go home objective for Frost Nova, basically, is can you make those adjustments? Can you profit there?
That makes a lot of sense to me. Ultimately, I guess that really transforms my question into what compositions are we going to see Frost Nova opt for in an effort to either meet their win condition or see if they can sabotage the win condition for Kaiju Core Clover, who are already looking pretty strong going into this series. Already at an advantage. They picked up that first map. You always want to start these series with that map advantage route. All right. So for Havana, I think they'll be looking pretty good as well. Again, for Frost Nova, looking for the synergy to really manifest itself for me with between Florida and Winter here on the tank role in particular. Make sure that there's not too much of a disconnect between themselves and the other members of the team, Cabadoza and Blazing Angel, making sure that they're able to keep the tank sustained, that they're able to maintain those critical positions. You still have Ricey and Scarrow on the lineup for Frost Nova, so that's actually a little interesting to me that we're not swapping in early Vincent, bringing in a Xeno. So that's just interesting that you're going to stay, I guess, so that you can run that Sombra Doomfist pick, right?
That's what I was expecting with that. When you see Ricey and Scarrow in a lineup such as this, basically what it leads me to believe is that you're going to be running the 6-man, potentially with a Sombra Kree, a Sombra Reaper. The Sombra Kree, is more looking at if you're looking at possibly some more lofty projectiles coming out on the side of Clover. But that's what I would expect. I would expect to see Scarrow on some sort of hit scan role, whether that be the Reaper, possibly the Tracer. We have seen Sombra Tracer come out from this. That would look very solid with the 6-man. We only saw Winter on the D.Va so far. So again, a lot of this seems to point to Frost Nova wanting to run the 6-man here. Of course, that opens it up for Glitch to be, as we're seeing as these lineups start to take shape, that does afford Glitch the opportunity to run the ball here. If you're Frost Nova, I would be going for the full hold attempt here. You set up close, you aggressively hold here at the spawn door. At worst, you lose the first fight, and you're possibly getting another fight by this corner that we're witnessing here. At best, you shave some time off the clock. You shave time off that time bank very early, and that can be a huge demotivator too for a team. So it looks like that's what we're going to see here. I hope they do it. That is affording them some real exciting opportunity here.
It looks like the Brawl is actually going to be mirrored. Kaiju Core Clover already kind of knowing the kind of game that Frost Nova is looking to play. Teamfight breaking out here over the first point. Wall coming out, but it didn't really split anyone off. And the boot comes out, kind of prevents Glitch from finding mad value with that pin. However, look at how the teams have rotated here, and now it almost looks like Frost Nova are the ones who are playing on the attacker. On the attacking side there, Florida actually ends up succumbing to the overwhelming damage coming in, and Glitch goes down as well, so that's a reasonable trade. Greg continuing to look for those picks, ends up actually getting walled off here. It's just kind of wait for that to go down, and in the process, Cannon has said, don't worry, I'm here to compensate, finds Ricey out, and Greg does get Cabadoza as well. Oh no, the pin onto Blazing Angel, and with that, this is a teamfight win for Kaiju Core Clover. Not a lot of time, not enough, I think, time burned off this clock initially, Leonard.
They did get about a minute off. And on top of that, you're getting The amplification matrix coming online for Cabadoza, that's going to be good here. That's going to allow you to possibly get Ricey and Scaro up to their ultimates. But I just got to talk about Clover's rotation there. It was so expertly done. That's exactly what you need to do when you're doing a mirror brawl in a spawn camp scenario on Ivana. But moreover, Frostnova handled it so well. But ultimately, you know, even if you lose picks, I mean, they just waited out. They get the spawn advantage, boom. But, you know, it was just very well done by both teams, I thought.
Yeah, ultimately, Frostnova kind of gets the raw end of the deal. Oh, look at that wall! It prevents the high noon from finding the value. You saw how close those targets were onto locking on, and Scaro is actually going to reply in kind. It looks like they've tethered a little bit, but they're only able to do chip damage onto the rest of kaiju Corp Clover. Felix ends up succumbing to a lot of damage there, but the beat comes out to make sure that Clover is properly sustained in this fight. In the process, Greg kind of popping off, ends up getting Kuma stuff. That's a double remake kill from Winter onto JP and Greg, and they launch the bomb into the air, looking to whittle down the remaining resources from Clover. They dodge the pin. Glitch kind of messes that up, and Greg is reconnected to the fight. But look at how low we had Winter in the mech. Just really didn't have enough health to sustain on that point. Lamp as well coming out, and the bomb from Felix is going to get value. Florida ends up going down, and Glitch is free to swing the hammer, but they're going to do so in the presence of the Blizzard. Another high noon coming out from Scaro. Wow, really quickly built. And it looks like defenders might actually be able to get a slight advantage here. Ricey has to play around the cart, play careful for cover, because they're down the support that you would normally be getting from Blaze Angel. They do strike back, however, and get Greg. Florida looking to reconnect with the team. Is going to reconnect before the next fight breaks out as well.
Wow, that was just, I mean, you could see the sails, the wind in the sails reinflate for Frostnova when Winter hits that double remat kill. I mean, that's not a combo you see very often. He gets the double remat kill and then launches off the self-destruct. Like, what? Like, no, those were in the opposite order. It's supposed to be the other way around. So, I mean, that right there, that hold, that literally ignited Frostnova. You see some great kicks coming out. Florida's got the Earth Shatter now, but man, Cannon. Double kill right there, my word, that's insane.
Yeah. And not only do they get the double kill, they got the lamp out, the immortality field expended on the side of Frostnova. Cabadoza are using that resource, and it means that no one is safe from the high noon. Scaro being able to zone out the remaining members of Frostnova, although there weren't many, into positions where Glitch could end up cleaning that up. This means that that's a first point capture for Kaiju Clover, and now Frostnova has to defend second.
That's what Kaiju Core Clover has done throughout this season as well. Is they've really just, you know, even when you win a fight against them in such a convincing fashion the way Frostnova did, they just come back and they just win the next fight kind of like it was nothing, business as usual. Being on the other hand of it, it's massively frustrating if you're a team. But Frostnova, you know, they've got ults to work with here. They've got Scaro with another Deadeye coming online. Cabadoza with the amplification matrix. Ricey's going to get that freeze any second now. I mean, all of this combined leads for Frostnova. They play the rotate back with a huge shatter from Glitch.
And it was off of that off angle as well, Lemon. That was absolutely insane. And you know, I honestly have to wonder here, Lemon, what your thoughts were on the amplification matrices, although less about those and more about this beat that's keeping Clover in this fight. Locked in a kind of a Deadeye there that was coming out from Scaro. The bomb is deployed as well as the shatter from Florida. You end up finding Popel, and Winter is looking for additional damage. But look at that! Ooh, that was a beautiful eat onto the Dragon Strike that was deployed by Cannon. We might actually see them swap off to Hanzo if, wow, Florida with all those final blows. We might see Cannon actually swap off the Hanzo. I think I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, I called it.
Seeing Cannon on the May, absolutely right, and that's the correct switch. I mean, I have to say though, Frostnova doing a really good job. They've changed their play style. Earlier, you know, we saw on the control map they were doing, you know, they take a pick, they lose a pick early, quick disengage, try and reset, do stuff of that nature. Not here though, and Cabadoza are just burning down Glitch. No, but what they're doing here that's really impressive is that they're actually now dragging out fights. They're trying to sustain them, and they're seeing success with it actually.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm liking this new style that we are seeing from Frostnova. Both of these Baptistes, Cabadoza just used the amplification matrix, and you have one now for J-Brox. Oh no, unfortunate wall actually ends up lifting Greg into the air, but Scaro is quick to find that elimination. Bomb being deployed onto the high ground doesn't secure any value, and JB still has this window that they're going to plop down right over here on the stairs. By now, however, Frostnova has kind of navigated around in the shatter as well, comes out from Glitch, but it doesn't really connect to any part of the vitality from Frostnova here. They're going to stay up pretty healthy and strong. Florida ends up taking a pin from Glitch, but look at Glitch just getting melted out of that fight. Enemy wall from, the May wall from Cannon ends up erected there, but doesn't really separate anyone. No space created off of it, and they're only 42% to this Blizzard. look at Ricey getting a lot of ult charge just from a little bit of spam here.
Halfway there now, Scarrow, again, I'm getting tired of saying it, Scarrow with another Deadeye coming online. I mean, you look at this, 20 seconds left, Frost Nova with a nice defensive positioning. They've got the ults to use here, Scarrow, Deadeye online. I mean, this is looking great for them. They have gelled here on this defensive hold. Oh, but look at this rotation. This is good.
I was about to call that out actually onto the high ground here, not looking for to give Frost the control that they want. Florida actually kind of still looking over at that corridor, making sure that no one's going to break in. You have a Deadeye come out from Scarrow as well, didn't mean any value, and Ricey has to ice block off the objective before procking up the wall as well. Glitch sacrificing a little bit of armor HP to sacrifice the Shatter. They managed to land that, but the beat from Blazing Angel is quick and responsive. Ricey building up the Blizzard before Cannon was able to get to it. Copel coming up with a beat just in time to keep the team sustained. Wait, Lemon, was that Blizzard eaten?
Yes, it was eaten by Felix.
What?
Felix hungry. Felix got the eat and then takes down Scarrow. And that's given Kaiju everything they need to push this forward. They've got the freeze coming out now. That's going to isolate Florida and take him down. You have to imagine, but that's a great layup coming out from Kabadozer. He's got the amplification man kick. We got both of them up now. But Greg, I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Greg with the Deadeye kill.
Well, and actually, it was Winter going in aggressive. You know, when you play D.Va and you go in, you want to use that defense matrix, and when you're engaging, and so because of that, they didn't have the defense matrix to mitigate the Deadeye from Greg. That last team fight and the last 30 seconds of the staging of that second objective here for Clover, they managed to win that and not only push around that first corner in the distillery, but also to the very end of second objective.
Yeah, that was very impressive. They managed to come together, but it has you have to notice that is some of the ugliest that Clover's had to look throughout just that we've seen them, to be honest with you. Frost Nova is forcing out the mistakes. They're forcing out the different styles of play. They're challenging Clover, which is great to see.
Felix is armed with this bomb, the Shatter as well, deployed from Glitch, but it doesn't really get anything. The bomb does get Florida out of the fight. I'm curious, maybe we didn't have the shield to mitigate that bomb there for our main tank for Frost Nova. Kabadozer, with the lack of the damage mitigation that Winter would be providing with the mech, ends up going down to Greg. Greg popping off with another kill onto Winter. They're looking for a third, but aren't quite able to find it onto Blazing Angel. So good that Blazing was able to get out of there because they're 87 to this beat.
Yeah, he needed to get out of there, absolutely, because that beat is going to be crucial here to get the stop here. But I mean, Greg doing such a great job of realizing when the people that can knock him out are off the field, and he just uses that to play aggressively. Now, Scar with the Deadeye, he's going to whittle some shields down. You're getting a lot of ults out for either side now.
And a really good Blizzard from Ricey as well, but the Immortality feel from JB might actually be better. Scarro and Kabadozer popping off. Greg looking for significant instances of damage. They do actually land the flash and the fan, but and are able to actually play in the presence of the dragons because that's occluding the defense. I'm sorry, the amplification matrix that has been deployed by Kabadozer, who ends up collapsing during this fight. Cannon doesn't quite find that final blow, but was able to distract Scarro for long enough for Greg to find that final blow, and are now spamming into the doors that Florida is looking to charge out of, pinned by the counter charge from Glitch, and Blazing Angel goes down to the flashbang. No fan required. Kabadozer are now forced onto the Moira with Ricey on the Doomfist trying to stall up, but they aren't going to be able to live very long. Look at all that damage coming up from Cannon, and Glitch is again able to just free swing onto this objective. Winter booped off, wouldn't have mattered. Shattered ultimately out of mech, and Cannon with all of these final blows in the kill feed. What a convincing swing of the momentum in favor for Kaiju Clover. Kaiju Core Clover. That's going to mess me up all evening.
Understandable. That's understandable. I mean, Frost Nova though, that just kills you if you're Frost Nova, because literally that was Kaiju Core Clover coming back to what they've done best throughout this entire tournament. They literally, that final overtime fight, it starts off with Frost Nova picking JB Rocks and Copel. So just to be clear, that fight starts with Clover not having their support line. And then from there, it's nothing but red in the kill feed. Literally nothing but red in the kill feed. They had no heals to back them up, nothing. You literally see when Copel switches, or when JB switches over to the Moira, Copel's still on the Lucio. You see when they get back to card about the point that they're finally capping it, but most of those picks came through with no heals, no chance whatsoever, and that's just Clover doing Clover things that they've been doing this whole time. And that's kind of a return to form, which, I mean, if you're Frost Nova, you had got them to kind of, you know, not look as clean, not look as dominating as they had. And of course, here we're seeing it. This is a full hold. They've done it once before in this tournament.
No.
The last time we had Havana on the table, they did this very strat. They got a ton of value on it. Not even a point on the board for the opposing team in that outing. So this will be interesting.
Fire strike for the spawn door. Oh yeah, with that pick on the cannon, that's really early, and that's going to weaken the defense in a big way. You no longer have the wall to buy a little space or to separate members of Frost Nova. Because of that, it looks like kaiju Corp Clover is going to kind of play around the objective, but they're going to sacrifice all of the shield from Glitch. That's going to end up shattering, and it opens up the tanks to get flashed by Scaro on the Kree. Oh, double fire strike kill from Florida. Felix and Greg both have a fight, and that's going to allow Ricey to push forward, see if there was anyone with the courage to see about touching there. There isn't. We're going to see a full reset from Clover.
He didn't even have window there when he got that double fire strike kill. I mean, you usually need the window to pull those type of numbers off. So big play there for Florida coming out. And I mean, great breaking of that hold if you're Frost Nova. I mean, that's great momentum. Now you've already got it through this corner. You're looking at Florida getting that shatter online here soon. Scaro with the Deadeye, and that window is just going to force Clover to take a second look at this attack.
Glitch's health pool looks really healthy going into this, and they do land the shatter. Oh, and open up the opportunity for Greg to find the Deadeye kill through the amplification matrix from JB, and with that, that's a pretty convincing wipe of Frost. Of Frost Nova. Their attack is going to be delayed, but only by a little bit is what they're hoping for here.
Well, if Clover's got the numbers, I'm interested to see if they try to play this aggressively. It looks like they're going to opt out of that. They're going to take this more conservative positioning. That's probably the right decision. I don't think they had Glitch back into position yet. But Scaro, he's got the Deadeye on live. Florida's got the Shatter. You could combine those two. It could be deadly. You could wait then and use your Grav and your Death Blossom together. You know, you're going to be looking at Blazing Angel to get that sound barrier online, because you know that Cannon is right there waiting on the wings with that Cryo Freeze coming out from that Mei. I mean, the Mei from Cannon's been looking really good, but you got to say, Ricey, I just happen to notice now, Ricey over on the Reaper, not a hero we're typically accustomed to seeing him on. So it'll be interesting how this plays out. Scaro, though, with the Deadeye, great wall coming out from Cannon.
Yeah, and you know, still for both sides, that's a pretty good opener for this fight. You bought a little bit of space, allowing the cart to clear the second corner, but Glitch is really quick to re-engage into the fight. Blizzard coming out from Florida. Oh, I'm sorry, from Cannon. Florida go for the shatter there, and actually ended up getting baited. Cannon was able to ice block, and the Immortality Field is going to prevent any deaths here from Capados. Scaro ends up finding the pick onto Glitch, so without the main tank, it looks like kaiju Corp Clover is going to be susceptible to this damage from the grab. Defense Matrix from Felix, not able to mitigate the laser from Winter. Winter maybe fitting out a little bit better on this Zarya than the D.Va, and oh yeah, and I think that this might actually reward them with a first point cap. But look, Glitch is ready to contest.
Glitch is going to try for this last ditch effort here, you know, but look, Ricey's going to be right there. I just got to say, Ricey doing really well to not wait for the grab there. By jumping it out there, he not only got out the lamp, he also got out the sound barrier. But now Greg with the double kill on the Deadeye, taking out the support line. A little quid pro quo there from the end of that last fight.
Yep, and with that, it's only Winter and Ricey remaining, and not even for long. Both of them end up found out, and you know, right now you're looking pretty equal in ultimate economy as well. Couple's looking really good on that defensive sound barrier. In fact, they might even be able to use that aggressively because of how little Frost Nova has to work with coming into this next fight.
Man, you just got to talk about how good Clover's been at defending against Scaro's Cowboy so far, because look, he's got Deadeye again. We keep saying it, Scaro's constantly having the Deadeye, yet the value's not there, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily his fault. It's great defense coming out from Clover.
Yeah. Oh, look at that wall. Procced right there in the Matrix. He's going to be demolished there by Ricey, but Scaro, like you said, no value from the Deadeye. They're not going to be able to find any picks with it. Ricey is not quite close enough to Blossom to be able to stay in this fight. They want to live until they can actually get to use that. But as Capadosa and Ricey fighting on the objective, and they're going to be playing into Cannon, who actually is able to use the Blizzard. That's a zoning ult if ever I've seen one. Who's going to be able to touch this objective? It's going to have to be the D.Va. Winter reconnecting in the fight off of the Zarya onto this tank with high mobility, high damage mitigation, but Capadosa ends up being taken out of the 5 to Greg. Ricey does find the pick on a Copal from the Death Blossom. Both Greg using the High Noon, the Deadeye, finding out Winter, and following up with Scarrow. It's all Kaiju Core Clover in this particular map as well. And now, Lemon, we'll be going into match point territory.
We are, and it's, I mean, as well as Frostnova has looked in aspects, I mean, we see here what's going to be a big play of the game from Florida in the Shatter that I just want to watch as a bit of a Ryan aficionado. I want to see this. We're not even going to see a Shatter, though. Look at that ult percentage. He's just going to go into the backline and do some work. I like that. That is just some good, clean Ryan play. That's what you live for as a main tank player. Like, let's be honest. But Frostnova, they've made some really great plays throughout Havana, throughout Nepal even, but more so on Havana. They've made some really great plays. They've done some great things that have basically forced Clover onto their back foot at times. They forced Clover to not look like Clover, which has been something really every team struggled with so far this tournament. So these are all things that Frostnova has done really well, better than I think. Like I'm alluding to, I think they've done better against Clover than most teams have done this entire tournament, with the exception of maybe Aegis and Danger Close, the two teams in our other semifinals match. That said, look at the score line. It's still 2-0 Clover. Clover still manages to find an answer. And not only do they manage to find an answer, they've managed to find an answer in the form of a 2-0 on Nepal and then a 3-1 on Havana. The full hold, much uglier than the time before. You know, the point got much closer. It was a little bit more touch and go there by far, actually. But in the end of the day, it's still a 3-0. It's still a 3-0 win there on Havana, and it's setting them up for a 3-0 victory coming out on this whole match. And that's going to send them into finals with just, I mean, as if they needed any more momentum. Let's be real here. As if Clover needed any more momentum. But I mean, if there was more to give, they have it. They've got the momentum. And Frostnova, you've just, I mean, I throw the darts at the dartboard at this point. Run the ball, Roadhog comp that you've been practicing in downtime on scrims. Throw it out there. You got to do something. You know, no shame. No one else has been able to do much against it either. So you know what? Go for it. But it has, you know, it's just, this has been such a great match to watch despite the scoreline, because Frostnova, you know, if you're one of these semifinals teams on the other side and you're looking at Clover with the intention of having to play them in the finals, look at what Frostnova's done. They've done some great things here, and they've exposed some cracks. I think it has to be noted, they've exposed cracks in Clover's armor, and if another team can look at that with a couple days of preparation and find some answers to that, that might be, you know, it might not be Frostnova getting the final blow, but they might pave the way to an ultimate Kaiju Core Clover defeat. I mean, it'd be tough at this point.
Yeah, and there really is only one way to find out, and that's by the series continuing on. Frostnova looking good, but that's not quite enough. They're looking for a win here. We'll be seeing our third map, Numbani again, possibly match point territory. You definitely want to stick around for that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break.
And we're back to the semifinals round of the Hyperion Invitational Cup. I am your caster, Lemon Pepper. I'm joined here by Lord Ethan. We've got a 2-0 match with Frost Nova and Kaiju Clvr. And so far, if you're just joining us, the scoreline is 2-0. I feel like we say it a lot that teams make it a lot closer, but Kaiju Clvr has had the upper hand. It has to be said. How would you say they've done that, Lord?
Through consistency, and actually one word that you and I threw around during the break was proactivity as well, right?
Yes.
The swiftness with which we're seeing swaps made in this composition, as well as Kaiju Clvr are kind of playing into the game that Frost Nova is wanting to play. That 6-man, that brawl, the rush kind of style with the Mei cutting off sightlines and blocking ultimates, making massive plays, and it's a culmination of all of that that I feel like is giving Clvr this competitive edge in this series. But the scoreboard, and I think that you kind of briefly mentioned this, it's 2-0, but I feel like that's not really reflective of the opposition that that Frost Nova has put up.
No, I'd say, if we're looking at this in hindsight, if this does turn out to be a 3-0, I would be okay with giving Frost Nova the 3-1, just because I think that, as I said pre-break, I think they've exposed some weaknesses in Clvr. I think they've shown examples of times where they've gotten the drop on Clvr a bit and been able to push it with some success. Now, obviously, Clvr always rights the ships. They always bring it around. But at the end of the day, if you can take that, because the team that will be playing Clvr in the finals, assuming that this does go to a 3-0, because we're kind of making that assumption at this point. A wrong assumption it could be, of course, but when you get down to that, if you can look at this footage, if you're one of the teams that's going to be playing Clvr in the finals, if you can look at this footage and really take a look at what Frost Nova did well, and you can build upon that, then you've got a chance here against Clvr. So that's one thing that I think Frost Nova, if anything, they can hang their hats on, is that they've done a great job, better than most teams this tournament. Now, this is the comp that I wanted to see Clvr on. This is Glitch on the ball. This is Felix on the Diva. Greg playing the Soldier. This is the stuff we've talked about before. The kind of, I want to call it the iconic Clvr comp. because, you know, everyone runs the brawl, but I don't think everyone's running this.
No, not at all. It is a powerful composition to run here on Numbani, and it's already kind of forced Florida out of position and got an elimination onto Ricey as well. You're going to see the remaining members of Frost Nova kind of play tentatively. Florida's actually quick to make sure that the supports maintaining that upper corner are going to be safe, but that's not going to stop Cannon from looking to poke and see if there's a little extra damage to do. Blazing Angel actually ends up, they shield bash kind of off that ledge, and Winter and both Winter and Blazing are out of the fight. Revive coming in from Copel onto JB Rocks, and despite an anti-nade on the high ground, oh, look at that sleep as well onto Scarrow. This is a fight win here for clvr. In fact, it's a point capture for them.
Yes, and I mean, it's interesting. The comp coming out for Frost Nova on defense, we are seeing some adjustments. Seeing Scara go over to that McCree, of course, for Cannon on the Pharah. But the thing about it is, and ooh, that's a huge pick by Cannon on Commodores early. I mean, look at this. clvr have already got Nova on their heels. They can't even get the regroup. And I mean, when you're running a Brigana against the ball here, if you're not getting the stun kills, I mean, look at this. But if you're not getting the stun kills onto Glitch, then you're very stationary. And I mean, we're seeing the stationary, Cannon's putting it on full display because he's literally getting so much value just from this spam from far, because there's nowhere to really escape right now if you're Frost Nova. And because of that, I mean, half of this first, you know, degree of progress coming out now already for clvr, strictly because there's been no regroup able to happen for us. They're only just now getting regrouped.
I'm glad as well. We're seeing Blazing Angel swap on a Lucio from Brig. I just don't know that Brig was going to be able to do much. It was obviously in anticipation of clvr running this composition. I don't think that we'll see Frost Nova yield the second objective, but they might be forced to. Minefield on the high ground, and Cannon is looking for an opportunity to barrage. There's a really good opportunity. They're going to go for it right then and there, getting both the supports out with that rocket barrage and not even dying in the process. Visor, Attack Visor is going to come out as well from Greg. See, I'm used to saying it. The Deadeye is coming out from both of the DPS players. For clvr and Frost, and now Frost is kind of spread out all over the place. Ricey has to go for the reset, and Copel is just free to bring Cannon back.
That's just the level of coordination that we've come to know and expect from clvr, though. You see Glitch go up there into that high ground. They spot out Frost Nova going for that aggressive high ground positioning to go and recontest the point. He minefields one door, forcing them out another door, but there's Cannon sitting there with the barrage ready and waiting. The fact that he doesn't die there just goes to demonstrate how well in tune Felix is, as well as Copel with the Mercy. I mean, this team's playing in perfect unison. Felix getting Scarro, now Cannon can go to work. I mean, thankfully the Echo duplication comes out, but look, Farah's right on top of him. There's nothing he can do. Finally, Winter will take down Cannon, but I mean, that reign of terror lasted far too long.
Oh yeah, it did. Copel actually tried to go for the revive, and it almost went unshut down. Ricey coming in clutch with the sticky bombs there, and there's a second bomb for the fight, but it's going to be coming from Winter, all contraire to Felix's. However, it won't get the value that we're looking to attain. In fact, I think that it ended up deploying a little later than it should have, if even at all, Lemon.
Yeah, I agree. That wasn't exactly what you were looking for there. I mean, but imagine if Copel gets that res on the Cannon, they might actually be able to cap that there. But this is afforded a good opportunity for Nova. They've got Florida with the Earth Shatter. They've got Scarro with the Deadeye coming out. Blazing Angel not far behind with that sound barrier, and they're going to need that sound barrier because I'm betting a Nano Visor might be on the horizon.
I think so. Actually, no, just the visor. Yeah. It's still going to get Blazing. Yeah, and look at the Shatter come out from Florida, but Florida's too low to even push off of it, and there's no one left to capitalize with all the rest of the team collapsing to the pressure from these ultimates. Cavadozer is the last to fall in this fight. Actually, it looks like it's going to be Ricey here, and the staggers are going to start rolling in. Blazing Angel has to connect. They drop the beat onto the point. The purple landed on them, but they were able to stay sustained. Scour goes for that Deadeye, but was mitigated by Felix, and Glitch is now in their face. Cannon finding the final blow onto there. Oh, Florida melted in an instant, and now you've got Greg just being able to play the objective. This is where you would normally play a soldier, but you're not going to meet a lot of opposition. Ricey now in the Doomfist is actually able to find out Greg and punish them for that missed position, but Copel, ever attentive, is going to bring Greg back into the fight. There's the rocket barrage from Cannon. It won't only secure Scarrow off the secure Scarrow in a pick. It's going to scare everyone off of the objective.
Absolutely. I mean, it achieves the value there. That's what happens when you're able to just to push that much control as an attacking team. It leaves you with a couple ults left over there at the end that you can just throw on top of the point, and it just really puts the icing on the cake, ensures that you can push it over that edge. And with a 3-minute 11-second time bank, no less, that's a really high time bank by any standard. But I mean, looking back on the fight before, Greg getting Blazing Angel with the dry tack visor, you know, as a Lucio player, I felt it. This is a difficult situation to be in when you're Lucio. You've got the sound barrier online. The team you're playing, the team you're playing against is rolling right now, and you know there's so many ults on their side of the field that you want to use sound barrier for. Ultimately, you know, of course, hindsight's 2020. I think you want to use that sound barrier the second you get it there in that fight, even though you see the tack visor is dry, strictly because even without the knowledge that it's going to kill you, that allows you to really create a good foothold. Greg's engaged with the visor. Now you're able to go to work for your team. So, you know, like I said, hindsight's 2020, and Lord knows I've been there as a Lucio. It's like, what do you beat? What, you know, it's like there's so much. Do you try and hide and beat the sound barrier? Do you try and, you know, the minefield to get people out of that? Barrage, what do you do? I mean, the pressure's enormous, but you know, now you're looking at an attack for Frost Nova. They're coming out on this traditional brawl. Actually, not quite a traditional brawl. You've got the 6-man support line with the Lucio Moira, and then you've got double hit scan to take out Cannon. And this is going to actually afford them a chance to maybe put some pressure on Greg as well.
Plenty of mitigation, I mean, coming out from these tanks as well. Florida on the Reinhardt, Winter on the Diva, but first they have to fight for this high ground here. Florida kind of tentative to push, not too eager to play into tons of damage. They're actually going to go after the Dynamite lands, but what's going to be really connecting is the purple here. In fact, a Concussion Blast also separates the squad. Ricey ends up picked out as a result, some damage amplification, and also that purple from Greg. They find that final blow. Coppola is going to bring Felix back into the fight with the revive, and honestly, you're going to have to wait for Ricey, and now Blazing Angel as well, before you really reconnect to this high ground, or even start formulating the strategy for this next attack.
Yeah, now I'm keeping the tally. We've got 3 remake kills on the match so far.
Yep.
2 of them for Winter, of course, so props to Winter. But now you've got Cannon with this barrage, and now he is looking against 2 hit scan players. If he gets too close, that Moira's going to be hungry for him. Winter, you know, is looking for him, but Felix already taking out Blazing Angel. I mean, this is going to afford Frost Nova no mobility. This is going to allow Cannon to really just set up wherever they go. They want to wait on the Lucio here, which leads me to believe that I wouldn't be surprised if Clover tries to push this possibly aggressively, knowing there is no out, but it looks like they will be content to just kind of bide their time. And why wouldn't they? They've got you know, the barrage online. They're just, you know, getting the passive increase to glitches, primal rage, and now it looks like Winter will be the first to begin this engage.
Yeah, caught in the mire here of so much damage that you have to play into. Team 5 finally really breaking out. Look at the stun from Ricey onto the barrage from Cannon. Ends up shutting that down. The coalescence from Cappadocia is going to keep the squad for Frost Nova sustained properly on this objective. However, you're playing into an anti-nade there. Connects onto purple and, I'm sorry, onto Winter and Florida. Florida sacrifices the armor race. The bomb coming out from Felix as well. Finds Scarrow. That's so unfortunate. You lose a DPS, and Blazing Angel is looking to reconnect to the objective, but they won't be able to do it in time to save Florida, who was 88% to that Earth Shatter, the fight swinging ultimate that might not have even been able to connect to these mobile heroes on the defense. And now you don't capture a tick of progress, and you've only got 1:30 left in the bank.
Yeah, that's the problem with Shatter here, is that, I mean, every one of these targets, with the exception of Ana, can just remove themselves to high ground and mitigate the risk of your Shatter. So you've either got to try and set up on the high ground and use it up there quickly, or force them down and get your opportunity there. Either way, you're having to separate your team. You know, Felix doing an inadvertent body block on Scarrow there on that self-destruct kill. I just had to note that because we were watching that, and it happened, and it just kind of cracked me up. But now look at Greg's got the mob. You've got Cannon almost with this barrage again. I mean, this is just the cards, the debt is stacking up against Nova, and this is going to be a hard check to cash, basically.
Oh my goodness, and you saw it there as well. Cappadocia was separated from the rest of the team. Glitch, forming an iron wall that they could not surpass. Scarrow goes for the reset because you've only got 42 seconds in the time bank, and that resolved really favorably for Clover.
It did, and now they've got, still every important DPS hold online. They've got both those. They've got Primal Rage. They've got the Valk, just to icing on the cake. Blazing does have that sound barrier. You've got 4 ults online, possibly 5 for Frost Nova by the time they start this fight. So there is an opportunity here to possibly get this cap, but I mean, they're gonna have to dodge everything here.
There's the barrage. Yeah, and I don't even know if they were able to finish the high noon or if they got caught out, maybe got a little over ambitious. The bomb from Winter is clutch though. It gets Copel out of the fight. There's the sustain, the revive, the damage amplification. Iscaro is free to rain damage from the high ground. They secure 1 and then 2, but the bomb gets Blazing Angel out of the fight. The window not able to provide enough sustain or damage amplification. Winter demeched as a result of the lack of team presence here on this objective, and Ricey now on the Tracer looking to compensate for the lack of teammates here. And there's not going to be an opportunity. Overtime Wick is burning away, and now you have Florida on the Wrecking Ball looking to contest. Ricey only suffering a little bit of chip damage, but they don't have the recall. There's 8 more seconds on that. Copel with the revive is able to swing and swerve their way to victory there in that ability. Glitch coming back into the fight, drops the bubble. Kabados are found out with the damage from Cannon, who's not quite close enough to a barrage to swing this fight, but you might not even need to. Florida does get Copel out of the fight, so again, you've gotten that mercy pick. Things are looking winnable. That's what you're calling in the team chat. Scar looking to take to the stairs. They're being chased right now by Cannon onto the high ground, and the tanks are looking to stay on this objective. You've now got JB on the Moira. They're able to fade onto this point really quickly. Another pile drive coming out from Florida, getting closer and closer to that minefield, but they're sacrificing themselves. The adaptive shields wear away slowly but surely. Glitch is able to find that final blow. Ricey is taken out finally by Cannon, able to dip around only for so long. Kabados are off of the objective, and also off is the Lucio for Frost Nova. Kaiju Core Clover wins this in a decisive 3-0.
Well, we talked about it in the break. We discussed who our picks for MVP were. I usually would wait to talk about this. We talk a little bit more, but it just seems so fitting. The play of the game on the screen. We were talking about it before this map. Cannon on the May, but I mean, just looking at this Pharah play, this whole new body. I mean, you're literally seeing a clinic. I mean, if you talk, it's like these DPS duos. They get mad if you talk about the other one. You talk too much about Greg, Cannon's gonna have something to say about it, and that's literally what we saw here. Is Cannon just putting on a clinic, whether it was the May, whether it was, and like you called it even back then. That switch to May, just ever pivotal, was a massive game changer for Clover's comp in that map. And then going over here to Numbani and just playing that Pharah, doesn't matter that he's literally got 4 people. You've got the Diva, you've got the Soldier, you've got the Cowboy, you've got the Moira if you try and get too close, and Cannon's just like, nah, I don't care, dude. Like, we're just gonna run the Pharah, and we're just gonna constantly get barrage kills. I mean, I don't know if anyone else caught it in that last fight, but literally not Cannon, excuse me. Who was playing? Was it Scaro playing the Soldier? I believe Scaro's literally running around the corner trying to get to that high ground, and Cannon chases him for a second, bursts up, drops down right where he pops off, and just hits him with one direct hit, and then it's back to the cleanup, and it's back to all that. I mean, good grief! Just, I mean, we were singing the praises of Cannon in the break, and then he goes out and does the reverse of the caster curse and just continues to pop off.
So you guys thought I was great enough. Let me show you what I really have in store. And what we have in store for you guys coming up after this break is going to be the MVP interview. You definitely want to hear a little bit from Cannon about their play style, the heroes they like to play, and maybe a possible hint at a strategy that they're going to have going up against the grand finalists from our other series, which should be concluding momentarily, I believe. So don't go anywhere.
A little juice.
Maybe that's what I'm going to try and press for. That's my commitment to you guys. That's right.
Like a fine wine press. Just press for the juice. Just press it down.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after a short break.
させてしまう。だから今の受け入れられるってわけじゃないんです。
Hello, welcome back. We are here with the projectile DPS player for your first announced playoff finals candidate for the Hyperion Invitational Cup. We have Cannon here with Kaiju Core Clover. How you doing, Cannon?
I'm doing pretty good. Feeling good.
Awesome. Congratulations on the win today. Very good. Very good.
Thank
Feeling
you.
good as I'm sure you would be after a match like tonight. Another decisive win for Kaiju Core Clover. Ooh, I almost missed that last bit. I'm not going to make that mistake. And and you guys looked really good out there. I'm sure that the other teams who are playing tonight, Danger Close and Paradise Aegis, are also looking good. So here's the question that I was going to blindside you with here, Cannon, is what is the strategy going now that you've secured your place in the finals, which I'm sure you guys were kind of planning to do. Now that your place is secured, what is the strategy that you guys are going to use in the grand finals, and how is that going to change depending on who you play, Danger Close or Paradise Aegis?
Strategy always comes down to almost like how we practice. So it's more so and less so strategy, more so repetition. So it's like we have something that works, we want to keep doing it. We have a backup plan, we will also do that as well in scrims kind of thing. So it's just these two ideas that we have, and then we'll just kind of like roll with those. And then we also have like our team has been together long enough that we also have the ability to like, okay, make up comps on the fly, just whatever works kind of thing. And we already have the communication set there that we can just kind of do that.
That's a pretty reasonable answer. So is there then a team, since I guess you'll be using pretty much the same strategy for both teams, or for either team, which team would you guys rather go up against? Would it be Paradise Aegis or Danger Close?
Oh man. It's it could go either way, honestly. Though for me personally, I'm not a very like I'm more so a go in game, play game, leave game kind of person. So it comes down to doesn't matter to me, basically. As far as the rest of the team, that they have their own opinions, but to me it's whatever.
Yeah, I love that. That's like as an Atlanta Reign fan, that's like the Atlanta Reign mentality. Like I just woke up for this. I'm just gonna go in here and click heads and then go home. I'm just gonna do my thing. I love that mentality. So it might not lead well into this next question I'm gonna ask, but it's like we saw tonight, specifically on Noon Body. We mentioned it. We were in the break in between the first two maps in Noon Body, we were talking about potential MVP candidates. We discussed Glitch, we discussed Felix, both very worthy candidates, both played very well tonight. But the May pick from you was a huge one. And then and that's what really had me kind of leading for you as the MVP after that. And then we go into Numbani, right? And you're playing Farah, you're popping off. You and Glitch, great synergy there on that high ground minefield play to the barrage. They come out, they run double hit scan. They've got Scaro on the soldier, and they've got was it Ricey, I guess, on the Kree.
Yep.
But so you've literally now got two hit scan players coming at you, and you just made it look easy, right? Like you didn't really do
Thank
anything.
you.
So my question is like, is there a scenario where you wouldn't want to play Farah? Because it seems like we saw a scenario where you shouldn't play Farah tonight. Is there a scenario where you would not play Farah in this tournament?
The way I see it is it's like bust it out. If it works, it works. Keep going and just run it until it doesn't kind of thing.
If it ain't broke,
So,
don't fix it.
yep, exactly.
Man, I love that. So then I guess we'll lead it into another one. Throughout the course of the season, has there been a hit scan player, a hit scan for a team where you've really had a challenge, where you actually had to switch off Farah? Has anyone challenged you? Is what I'm asking.
There's possibly maybe if you go back through the VODs, but again, personally, I'm a very go in game, play game, leave game kind of person. So I don't see I go into these matches and I don't see, oh, here is player name playing this character. I see no, here's Kree, here's Soldier. Just erase the player name because otherwise I will be calling the player name instead of the character. So it's less so me knowing specific names and more so you'd probably have to look back because this sounds cocky and a little bit is, but I can't remember
Let
a
it out.
time.
Go with it. I love it.
No, yeah.
I love it. Don't remember a time he's been counted on fire. And I mean, we haven't seen it, but congratulations, Cannon. You are the MVP here in the semifinals match. You and the rest of Kaiju Core Clover will be advancing to the final round, where you will be taking on the winner of Danger Close and Paradise Aegis. That map going on that series going on the other channel is still in progress. I forget exactly what the scoreline is. I think it was 2-1 in favor of Aegis last I checked. So we're still up in the air on who you're going to be playing, but at this point we know Clover's in the finals, and I think that about does it for us. Thiessen, what do you think?
That's it. If there's anything to say, you've already said it here, Lemon. Just expert plays from Kaiju Core Clover. Really, a lot of it being outsourced from Canon. Canon, congratulations on your MVP nomination, and pass our congrats on to your team as well. You guys are obviously putting a lot of work into not just the Hyperion Invitational, but into the team as a whole. You guys have really made a noteworthy effort that has coalesced really to make you guys stand out in this tournament. So pass our congrats on to the team, and I'm very much looking forward to watching the finals.
Thank you. I'm very much looking forward to playing in them.
I shouldn't be insulted by that, but I really kind of am. But yes, as a competitor, I have to say congratulations. It's been a pretty masterful tournament come out from you guys over at Kaiju Core Clover. So, credit where credit's due, respect. Have to give it up. Y'all are looking good and y'all are in the finals for a reason. But we will be finding out here shortly who the other competitor is. But for all of us here on this side of things, I've been Lemoncaster. I've been joined by Lord Thiethan. Thank y'all so much for having me this season. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure casting with you, Thiethan. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon.